How we doing, gang? We are live and we are back from Toolroom HQ. It's the Toolroom Academy YouTube and our weekly A&R sessions, listening to your demos that you guys have been submitting to us through Label Radar. We had a little bit of a break for the summer holidays, so I could go and work on my tan a little bit. But we are now back for these, and we've got some exciting one of these lined up for you guys. As you can see, sitting next to me, have a regular to the show. Can we say that? To the show?
I'd like so, yeah.
I think so,
time round.
I
feel like
so.
a regular.
We have Mr. Danny Rhys,
How's
live
it
and
going?
direct from Toolroom. Toolroom's track superstar and A&R from the label as well. He's going to be joining me, giving you guys his thoughts on your demos. We cannot wait to dive in and hear what everyone's been working on.
Yes, I'm eager to get stuck in, you know.
Definitely. It's been a few weeks since we've been back here, but we are keen as mustard to hear what you guys have been working on. What's everyone saying? How is everyone? Is everyone good in the hood? Who's joining us? Let's have a quick look and dive in. There's always a bit of a delay on this.
So is this the first one back from your holes, Pete? Is it? Or...
It is, yeah.
Okay. Oh, nice.
I went away, and then we thought we'd have a little bit of a break because, you know, August is one of those months where people go on holiday and stuff, right? So
needs must.
Needs must. To be honest, I needed to recharge the old batteries. It was well needed.
Oh,
but,
yes.
Yeah, we are back, mate, and buzzing. So, who is in? Who is in? Nick Bennett, how you doing? You all right? Ollie,
Yes,
how are ya? Fine setter. Am I saying that right? I always worry when I see something I'm not sure how to pronounce.
Yeah, I'll go, best not say that one.
Fine setter, music. How you doing? Let us know. Spell it out phonetically for me if I'm wrong. Alex Louthouse, how are you, mate? You good?
Yeah, big ups, Alex.
Liam Cox is in the place. Another Academy superstar. How are you, Liam? You good, mate? Gabriel, how are you? Loving this. The crew are in. Philip. Gabriel says, congrats on Sabali.
Oh,
Pure
thank you
fire.
very much. I appreciate that. I'm glad you like it.
Smashed it, mate, didn't it?
Done well, actually.
You got some wicked DJ support on it, didn't you?
By surprise, yeah.
You had some wicked
Ariel's
support on
just
it.
played it higher beefer, so that's pretty sick. And DJ Paulette's been giving it a spin, so
Nice,
yeah,
man.
took me by surprise that one, but yeah. So thank you for everyone streaming, downloading it. Appreciate that.
Nice. Ah, the pronunciation is perfect. Amazing. I said it two different ways now, though, so I can't remember which one was right.
Yeah.
Fine setter or fiend setter. I think it's fine. Yeah, good. Thank you, Liam. Really good, mate. Buzzing to be back. And yes, Philip, we are looking forward to Saturday as well. For those of you who don't know, it's Toolroom's 20th year this year. We're celebrating the year in style. There's been some amazing shows going on. Loads in the States in the last couple of months. Some massive shows in New York, Toronto recently. But we have our London celebration this weekend, right?
This Saturday.
Who might be playing, Danny?
Oh.
Danny
Yes,
is on the
super
lineup.
Excited.
It's going to be wicked,
excited.
isn't it?
Yes.
It is going to be wicked. Yeah, I think there's quite a few of the Toolroom Academy fam and Toolroom fam have been getting in
Nice.
touch that are coming along. So
Nice.
looking forward to that,
Yeah.
guys.
It's always nice to see them coming down and supporting. You know, we always see
Definitely.
their names on emails and whatnot. So getting a bit of FaceTime is always nice. isn't it, with
Definitely.
those guys?
And especially with all the students from the Academy, it's wicked to meet in person.
Massively.
So really buzzing. Really looking forward to that. Are you going, Philip? I can't remember what you said on there. Let's see. Is Gabriel, are you going in? Gabriel's flying in on Friday.
Yes, mate.
I'm looking at the comments here. Drop a comment if you are viewing live, guys. Yes, Philip's looking forward to it. Love that. My tipple is Corona, all right? Just in case.
Yes. No tequilas.
Not until midnight.
Yeah, about midnight. Then I've had a few people buy me tequilas way too early before.
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
like, they go,
And the thing
bought
is,
you a shot, and I'm like,
you
"Look,
feel like
yeah."
you can't refuse it.
Yeah.
If someone buys a tequila and puts it in front of you,
You
can't just snub it and leave it, can you?
Yeah, you got to down it, and it's like bloody hell. I'm drunk in an hour of getting there. So, but
It's either that
all
or
part
quickly
of the fun.
turn around to Bailey and it's like, there you go, mate. There's a fifth one there. Neck another one, mate. Love it. Oh, we're really looking forward to it, guys. Right, let's dive in, shall we? We've had some wicked demos sent in, as we do every time. Label Radar, Toolroom page on there. Submit your demos through there, and then we will listen to them here and give you some feedback live. It's a wicked opportunity. And I think even if your tracks don't get played or you're watching this now and you haven't sent something in, watching live A&R sessions or any A&R sessions watching someone receive some feedback on their track and taking on board, you will learn a lot from that yourself, of kind of the sort of things that labels, A&Rs, other producers, the things they might pick up on, and people that are working professionally in the industry, you know, that they pick up on them, and you can learn a lot from that and take that advice into your own track. So it really is worthwhile. We hope you guys enjoy these. So what we do is we take a bunch of demos kind of at random. We receive quite a lot of demos each week here at the label, so we just grab a whole bunch at random, so there's no favoritism, pop them in, and then they are delivered to me. So I have no hand in that at all. I've got a whole bunch of demos here, which I'm just going to pick a few at random to play today. All right, so shall we get started?
Let's get cracking.
All right, okay, right, I'm going to load the first one up here. So the first one I have loaded into Ableton, we use Ableton to play these back on the stream. It's by Let's Carpool. That's quite an interesting artist.
That is an interesting name.
I like that. Let's Carpool, and the track is called Heavy. I might skip through these tracks a little bit, guys, as well. A bit of needle dropping, just so we can get through as many as possible in the session. Let's do it, shall we?
Here we go, here we go.
Wow, that was lovely. Kicking off with summer vibes. Let's keep summer going, right?
Oh, awesome, yeah.
We
need it here in the UK, right? We get a little bit of sun and we're probably due another month of rain. So this is keeping the sunshine
You're
out.
keeping the sun going here. Let's carpool. That was really lovely vibes. Yeah, what a nice way to kick it off. Proper funky groove, but that whole sample, all of those pads, the chords, the disco lick, and the vocal were just, I think the word's lush.
Yeah,
really
that was very lush. Very sort of lightly new disco, the new wave of disco. Yeah, really, really cool track. I mean, loved the groove. I just wanted it to keep going longer. It was just too short.
Totally.
You know? It was so good. And then you could extend that by another 16 bars, and then the vocal can come back in, and
you could have maybe filtered down some of the sounds, and the disco stuff to let the vocal have its section over the groove.
For sure, 100%,
and the stabs, because it's a common thing that often comes up in these feedback sessions, but it's really relevant. It's arrangement.
Yes,
it's arrangement. I find it quite interesting for like as a predominantly a club-based label when we receive radio edits as demos. Because generally it works the other way around. It's best to see how a record works from a club edit. You know, and it's kind of intended in that way. Although this is a very radio-friendly record, it's better to see how it works with all those parts to then condense it to a radio edit. But I've got to be honest, it's not quite working for us even as an edit, is it? As a radio edit?
No. It's I mean, what he or she is working on in the breakdown is really, really great work.
It's lovely.
And I loved how it built, and then the bass come back in, and I was feeling excited, and I was ready for that
And then we went back to the vocal and chilled it down.
Dropped straight back down to sort of nothing again. I was like, because he's just taking us on this journey of building us up to this sort of pinnacle point in the track.
I thought it was going to kick off.
Yeah, for sure. So I think it was the last 8 bars. To bring it back down to nothing, I kind of see what you're trying to do, but it's probably not working because your progression is so good in that part. So to come down to nothing, it is sort of like, oh no, you just dropped.
That would have worked the other way around on that one.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, I say it all the time, but look at an arrangement of another radio edit that's successful, similar sort of parts, and copy it. For an edit, 40 seconds as an intro is too long, even though it's vocal. And it's musical parts, but before the track kicks in, that's a bit too long for me. Then we have 16 bars of groove with no vocal. Then we go into the break with no vocal. You're not bringing the vocal back to over 2 minutes. It kind of needs to be the other way around, doesn't it?
For sure. Totally.
But honestly, what a track. Yeah, what a start. Perfect. That is the vocalist. I love the vocalist tone. She's amazing. That singer is amazing. Really cool. Nice. You could maybe, I mean, look, we're not normally critical on mix downs in here, the way we're listening to it in this room and stuff. I felt like the vocal could have had a bit more clarity in that to me.
Yeah,
just sat out a bit, tiny.
Much reverb on it, perhaps.
Yeah, perhaps a little bit.
Again, it's hard to say, but yeah, I think for me, for over that, it was just got all the right parts, all the juicy bits. Just get that arrangement, sorted a little bit better. Let the track groove, enjoy it, keep yourself dancing, work on that break, and he's got himself a track there. So
there you go. Nice one. Let us know if you are if you're locked in and watching as well. Okay, so I have another one loaded and ready to go. And this is by Alex Kislov called Paranoid.
How's it going, Alex?
Let's do it. Let's do this, Alex. Let's give it a spin, right?
Give it right back. Give it right back. Give it right back. yeah, everybody going wild. Now everybody, yeah, everybody, been around the block like twice. Think I'm playing not nice. Elephant in the room. After party, my dice. Yeah, smooth like that. Serve it up hot and they give it right back. Serve it up hot and they give it right back. Been around the block like twice. Give it right back. Serve it up hot and they give it right back. Give it right back.
Nice one, Alex. Feeling that, mate. That's got a wicked vibe to it, hasn't it?
Yeah, love that.
Really nice vibe. Proper little groovy, slight mood on that bass line. It's got a nice bit underground feel to it. The vocals as well.
Yeah,
I'm
vocals
interested
really
on the vocals. If you're in, Alex, let us know where that vocal came from. I don't recognise it. Sometimes I feel like I've heard most vocals that are like on Splice or Loop Cloud.
Been through the whole catalogue.
We've been through everything, but you never know. Is that an original vocal? Is that a friend? Is it you? I'd love to know. But I like the mood of that. I like the groove, the bass line. I like the vocal. The overall track idea is really nice. And we both had very similar thoughts at the same time as when we were listening to this. And as much, look, what we say to people can be, taken for artistic choice. But in our opinion, I think we both feel like you can have a bit of a stronger musical lead sound. That wobbly sound, it's quite interesting, but it doesn't cut through and really pierce, does it?
It doesn't. It needed a stronger sort of a lead line, a riff or something in there. Possibly you could check out. I think it's called "Make Love Not War," the Torrent Foot edit. There's it's got a similar vibe. It's really gritty. Quite a current sound. It's got really cool bloop, 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 bloop,
just
bloop,
pumps
bloop,
out,
sort of nice little riff. Right. So maybe ever check that out if you're listening on listening and just catch the vibes on when the vocal comes out. This really cool sound comes in. So maybe that could work.
Because it's like the vocal comes out, you're sort of making an edit of it, and then it's like, woof, we go into the tune, and that sound just felt like a tiny bit underwhelming to us in the energy of it. I think as well, when you go into that little section, when you do that, same when you go into your main break, high past the actual bass line, put a filter on the bass line, take a little bit of the low end out, start to filter down the hats with a bit of a low pass filter as well. Some little movements like that before you then kick back in make a real big difference, all right? Like when you go into your break, your main break, midway through it, these sort of like deep house chords come in. Really nice, it's like a sort of keyboard or a Rhodes or something. It's a really nice chord. And you have the vocal, but you've still got all the hats and the clap going. I think you could drop them out, the hats and the clap, and actually have a moment.
It's worth a try, that.
Like a little 4-bar section where it's just like vocal chords, that everyone in the club will stop, take note of what's happening, and then build it back up. But the build-up felt a little bit like, well, you've got this amazing vocal, and then rather than use the vocal and then loop it and do some mad effect to get a big build, you've sort of done a bit more of a gentle build up and then come in with the vocal, which is okay to do, but I just feel like there could be more energy in that build up.
For sure, yeah. Taking that lead vocal out, it felt like it did lose some energy there. Yeah. Especially as it is hooky and it's really cool. It does essence cool. Yeah. So to have the vocal in there would be really cool. I mean, yeah, it felt like that 16th hat just rolled all the way through. So maybe you could do, like Pete said, take it out, filter it back in, perhaps.
Yeah, you could filter it back in on the build, something. Yeah.
Yeah, just do something cool with it. But it's just sort of all the way through, and it might be nice just to give that a break a little bit, just to because that will pick the track up. So just to slow the track down away, even though it's same BPM, but it would just feel like just changing the pace a little bit to then really build up again. And maybe anything with those deep house chords that you mentioned, maybe they work in the break only. I think you want this really tough and gritty,
it makes it just a bit fluffy in the choruses.
Once we dropped, it was needed,
I don't think.
Yeah, that second drop was actually not as powerful as an earlier one because you were sort of doing that classic thing of going, right, on the drop, I'll put everything in. The vocal, that wobble lead riff, and the deep house chord. And actually, you just need the groove and the vocal.
For sure.
That's all you actually need, don't you? They're the killer things. And then repeat what you did earlier. You know, bring the wobble riff in 8 or 16 bars after that drop. And I agree. I totally agree with Danny. I wouldn't use the deep house chords over the groove, but
yeah, keep it tough, keep it real clubby,
tough,
and
keep it gritty. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, just want that, especially with that vocal. It's quite urban. You know, that worked really nicely, I think. So, but yeah, great work. You know,
what a really cool record.
Again, really cool parts there to that track.
Love
so
it.
They're onto a winner for sure.
Yeah, thanks for sending that in, Alex. That's really cool. As much as we're like, oh, try this, try that, not sure about this. That's what we're here to do. Just give you some quick fire thoughts. They're not major things. They're really not.
No. They will sound like they are, but when you actually get down to it, when you got your notepad and you start, you think actually all those tweaks took me like 10 minutes to do. You know, they're all generally real simple things.
Totally. Exactamundo. Right. What's everyone saying on chat? D-Tone, how are you? Tyler, you good? You alright? Everyone good? Nino, you good? Love it. I think everyone was feeling that one as well. Feeling the vibes. Okay. Next one is by Mitch Gilby. And this one is called Wery Wery. I think. Unless you want to pronounce it in a more German accent with a W with a very, very. I'm not sure. But I like that. Mitch Gilby with Wery Wery. Let's do it, shall we? It's all about the fade. Yes, Mitch Gilby. Loving that. Thank you for
Nice
sending
work.
it in.
Nice work.
It's got some Toolroom Traxy vibes about it, that, hasn't it?
Yes, I'm feeling slash and dop on that one,
Bit of a slash
100%.
and dop.
But awesome stuff. Really feeling the vibes in this.
Nice
summer,
vibe.
isn't it? Very
Yeah,
summery.
it's really summery. That main lead, super bright. And the vocal's nice as well. I like the way you've recreated the melody of the vocal.
Yeah, I really
with
love
the
vocal.
lead, which is really interesting. A few mixed things, but look, it is what it is. I think your main actual lead, that sort of steel drum actual riff, it's a little bit dry at the moment. Needs a little bit loosening up, bit of reverb, a little bit of delay. Bring it down in the mix a bit so it sits on the track a little bit more. Also, it's a tricky one because it's sort of working to follow the melody of vocal. But for both me and Danny and Bailey in here as well, we all three of us felt that it was like a little bit stop-starting in some of the note pattern, wasn't it? In the melody, it felt like just one or two other notes without seeing the actual MIDI. We couldn't really say where, but it's probably push notes before the beat. I think that you need that will help push it. That will give like a kind of doubles in a couple of spots.
Just help to skip into the
next one a little bit more, so it's not quite as not as stuttered and rigid. The reverb and stuff will help with that as well.
Yeah, but possibly add a little bit more swing to it would help because you want it to sound groovy, very Latin, and like you're gonna.
It's got
you want to dance. You don't want it to be
a little bit more, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just got a flow and just really groove in a way rather than it being just so sort of on, stuck to the grid, so to speak. But yeah, like Pete said, adding a couple of more notes in just to skip into that next note. That would, it would just sound so much cooler, so much more vibey. It would just fit the sound you're looking for and what you're trying to achieve by using that sound.
I think so.
Another thing you could try is you copy the same MIDI pattern, chuck it down an octave, move it in the grid, maybe off a bit, maybe half a beat or a beat, and see how it sounds. Lower down, so then you've got a bit more of a texture, or you could try just using a delay with like 1% feedback on it, and that will just double up the notes. But there's loads of creative things like you could try on that, but that would just a few of those things, and you've definitely got to get that vocal in more because that vocal is
100%. It sort of appears. I think it came up in the background in the first break, but then it had its own little section before we got to the second break, but only I think for 8 bars, and then it went. And we sort of did this pre-break thing. We're breaking down. You did that very gutsy, like 2-bar or 4-bar. Well, we're going nothing. And then when we restarted, I was like, no, we need to restart with energy. You came in and restarted on that break, and it was just sort of hats and a groove, slowly building up. Then that riff starts playing intermittently. That's cool, but that arrangement to go the vocal and then an 8-bar section pre-break, I call it. Before the breakdown, you're bringing things down, taking sounds out. That's already chilling us down. Then the whole sort of, what do you call it? The moment, a trick, a gimmick, something that people can latch onto in the middle of the track. That whole gap, which is kind of cool. To then restart at a lower energy, I don't think you need to do it. I think you could chop that whole 8 bars out and go straight into where the riff starts doing it intermittently, personally.
100%. Another thing you could potentially do there is as soon as it comes down, get a vocal filtered in first. Start bringing that in to use the vocal as the builder. 8 bars after, then bring in your steel drums, so they're not both coming in at the same time. Because I think I can kind of see what you may be trying to do is trying to fill it out and crime of different things, so it's not all coming in at the same time and trying to keep it different. So maybe you just need to pull some of the things earlier, because like even that part in the breakdown, he's chopped to bits, hasn't he? Just teases bits in. I don't think they kind of work, and just not enough. You just
It's not enough. Maybe look at the whole arrangement a little bit, because I mean, it's a good length. 5 minutes 40 is a very current sort of length for tech house tracks, but really, you're not. It's all intro for a minute and a half. I think you could probably. You said that you're going to when we were flicking through. It's like, oh, this could break. That first break could happen at a minute. So you could probably lose 16 bars there. Or maybe have a look at a slash and dop arrangement.
Definitely.
Or look at a few arrangements that are on Toolroom tracks that are like, and Toolroom, where it's a record that's similar sort of vibe, and it's basically got a vocal hook that repeats, and a sort of melody riff that repeats. And look at how they've worked it, because both of us think you could get way more out of that vocal. It's wicked.
You've got some really juicy content there. You just got to use it more in your track, because you're not using it enough. You've got some brilliant content in there, really hooky parts, things that, you got two great hooks in there. You've got the vocal and you've got your steel drums. You've got to really work the arrangement and use them correctly. But yes, Slash and Dop, throw one of their tracks in your project, see how they're arranging their steel drums and then their vocals and vocal chops, and I reckon you'll have a track out at the end of that. So
nice.
Yeah.
Well done, Mitch. Definitely. Well done, mate. Someone give me a holler on the chat.
Holler.
I don't know whether my phone is just not keeping up with what's going on in chat, but I'm getting paranoid that something's gone wrong in the chat window. Let me know you're there, guys. I can see everyone's there, but we haven't had a comment for about 15 minutes, and I was panicking, going, is it working?
Unless they're all driving and working, then that's fair enough.
Sneakily listening.
Yes.
Yeah, people do
little
that.
Window in the corner of the desktop screen, yeah.
I used to do that at school. I used to have my... look, I'm old school. Headphones first changed from the overhead ones to the actual earbuds.
Oh, okay.
With wires.
Wow.
With wires, Danny. They weren't Bluetooth.
Right.
And I used to split them, pull it apart, the wire, and then feed one up from my jumper all the way along, and it'd come up my cuff there and rest there, and I'd just sit like that.
Wow.
Some of my lessons and assemblies, just blasting out 165 BPM happy hardcore.
Love that. That's a tip.
It's a tip right there.
Yes.
So if you guys can sit there and have this on quietly in the corner whilst you're working, I mean, if I can do that in a school assembly, you can do that.
Love that.
You can do that.
That's a tip for the top.
That's why I failed all my exams. All right, who is... I didn't. I did all right.
Yeah.
He says.
I don't doubt that, Pete.
I did all right. That's why I'm here. Right. I've got a folder. Where am I going to go? Where am I going to go? Nobody knows. Dun dun dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
Need some sort
That's
of
good.
theme tune,
At least
don't we?
yeah. Even still, that's stuck in the head. That's an earworm. So.
What, did I just make it up, or is that from
No, that's from the song, isn't it? Dun, dun, dun,
oh yeah,
dun,
I was literally
dun,
singing
dun, 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 dun,
I'm taking Mitch's glory. Yeah, I just made that riff up.
Yeah, so Strictly Come Dancing, that riff, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's where that came from. Right, next one I've got loaded up is by Jackie Hollander. Hollander? I don't know why I'm doubting myself on every name pronunciation today. I've got the paranoia. It's warm.
I think you're usually pretty good at the old names.
I am pretty good. It's the heat. It's not even that hot in the UK, but why does it get to sweltering degrees in this room?
It's a loft space, isn't it?
It is. It's our high-tech studio. That's it. You've got
all these fire beats.
Fire beats. Right, let's do this. So it's called Uh-Oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Right, let's do it. Nice one, Jackie. That is nice, man. You got a wicked groove going on there. The bass line, drums, when it was rolling, we were like, we were in. We were enjoying that. And then as soon as I heard the vocal, it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, super underground.
We know what that vocal is. It's a cheeky one, cheeky nod to... I can't think of who originally done it.
I want to say either Christina Milan, Lumidi, if that's how you say it, or Nina Sky. I'm out of those three. But
Fair
it's like
play.
a hip-hop... I can... I can picture it in my head.
Early noughties?
Yes, I think it is. Yeah. Bailey, Google it. Yeah. Spotify that thing. But Never Leave You. Uh-oh. It's called Never Leave You. Uh-oh. Whatever that. Anyway.
Yeah. But anyway, so vocal from there, and that's kind of interesting. It's like, okay. I don't know where or why or how, but there's something in that vocal that was bugging me in the tuning. A little bit of that vocal in the tuning, in the break, in the build-up. Vocal just, I think it's clashing with the risers or something. It's very minutiae, really, compared to the main feedback that we've got here. I think it ultimately comes down to the relationship between the riff and the vocal, isn't it? Yeah. I was a bit unsure of that riff, that it's got sort of 80s electro vibes.
Yeah, it just didn't quite do the job that I think you're trying to achieve with it, if that makes sense. Is that it... you're trying to add in this extra layer to build on the track and add some excitement, but I don't think that was quite doing it. I think for this particular sound, I would maybe take that out and replace it with some sort of percussion or a timbali pattern,
something that
can come in and donk donk donk,
or groovy tribal to go with the style of the groove and the vocal.
Because it's very sort of Latin tribal and quite
Latin-y,
it's very deep, minimal. There's lots of flavors in that groove, and it's it's very fast paced. There's lots of congas, bongos, and toms going on in that. Low down in that groove. Maybe you could just have some percussion that comes in higher, some wood blocks or something, clunk, clunk, clunk. Make a little riff out of those. Check out Andrus. He's really good at doing stuff like this with a groove like that. And I will always reference tracks when I'm making my own music, and even making my own music, listening to people's music, because you've got a great standpoint. Every song I'll listen to, I'll pick out a song that sounds similar and think, how did they do it better? Perhaps you shouldn't compare your music, but it's a great way to reference and find out these little splashes of inspiration to take from other people's music, I find. But check out Andrus and see what he does with bringing in some different percussions and
interesting
to make a lead out of them, so when the vocal goes, they've got these really cool patterns coming in.
Because the thing is that there's quite a bit of effort that's gone into the riff in the main build, with that whole timing and slowing it down and speeding it up. A lot of effort's gone in there, and I'm wondering what part came in what order. Was the vocal the first thing you were working with and the groove? I'm going to take a punt. It doesn't feel like that to me. It feels like the vocals come in a bit later. So I feel like you could go either way depending on what you prefer more as an artist. I think Danny's advice is spot on with the musical riff there, not suiting what's going on necessarily with the vocal and the groove combined. But then if you're really attached to the riff, then maybe build the record and do it more with that riff. But I don't think that vocal sits with it.
Yeah.
It could be one of the two, but
I think it's
interesting.
Using that vocal over this track, I think is very UK sound right now, and I think a lot of people will play that. So
yes.
It's
you're right.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, what you've done also with the riff, with that really cool electronic sound, it's some really cool work in there. Where on that build where it builds up, and it's you're changing the notes from the note, probably like a note repeater or an arp or something, when they're getting faster and faster and slowing down. So you've got loads of little cool tricks with it. Yeah. So I can't take that away. That's some amazing work there, but definitely. Perhaps just not the one to make a lead out of, perhaps. And just those pads that come in as well, they're a bit strange.
Oh yes, after the second drop, it felt like a pad was coming in, but I think it might actually be a riser. But rather than a riser starting slow, it comes in sort of half volume, so it felt like a pad, and then it started to rise,
and it's quite
then
sharp.
Just cut off. Really
gone.
shut off.
Yeah, don't need that.
No. Because it wasn't in enough to go, this is a lead, this is a key sound, because A, it's coming in at 3.5 minutes. It's not something we've heard before. And B, it was a bit like you were holding it back a bit. So it took us a while to go, well, what is that? And the minute someone does that, I think, in what you're saying is, you know, house music, accessible house music. We're not like trying to make real minimal, totally underground stuff. We're not trying to make real commercial stuff. We're trying to make stuff that sits in the middle, gets played by DJs. You want things to be heard and to be palatable, taken on board really quickly. When people are sort of stop and have to try and work something out, it stops them in their tracks. They don't do it consciously, it's a subconscious thing. And that's what can spoil the flow of a record. And I think really you're bringing those sounds in, I think, because you're like, oh, I've used my riff, everyone will be bored of it, I'll give them a new sound. Whereas actually you don't need them. Danny said you don't need them at all. Just work on what is your main core riff and bring that back, your hooks back. But I mean, look, we're throwing a lot at you here, Jackie, but really this is a really, really solid record. You should be proud of this. Great vibe going on. There's just a slight mishmash there for us between the vocal and the riff, I think, mainly.
Yeah, I think in a nutshell, maybe change the riff, change it, use some percussion instead to make that lead, and definitely drop those pad sounds in that second groove. But yeah, in a nutshell, that's it, I think.
Really cool. Really cool. And just to say, look, if any of you guys are watching this and are going, what's going on? How do I get my tracks in? We're here each and every Wednesday, 3 p.m. UK time, streaming live, listening to demos that you guys send in. So every single week, you can send a fresh demo in via our Label Radar page, Tour on Records Label Radar page, and we select some at random Wednesdays before we do the live session. We'll take a bunch and play them here live and give you some feedback from our industry experience, our A&R experience of working in the industry, being a record label as Toolroom for 20 years. Various different guests are joining me each week. Danny Rhys here from Toolroom A&R team and an artist himself has joined us before. He's back again in the hot seat today. So if you want to get your music heard, make sure you follow us on socials, on Instagram. Click like and subscribe, and then watch out for the next submission. But really, just go to the Label Radar page, submit a fresh track, and you never know. We might be picking yours at random and playing it here, all right? And as I said at the start, it's still really good to get feedback, even if you hear other people's music as well. Right, let's grab another one. Let's keep this going. I think there might be a bit of a problem on the chat. I think people are saying that for some reason chat's gone a bit iffy on YouTube on the stream, and they're getting thrown out of it and can't comment for some strange reason. But no worries. As long as you're watching and enjoying it, that's what it's all about. Right. I was about to pick something there that I'd already played. My brain. Every time I'm picking the next record, the last one is in my head. So now I'm going,
100%, 100%, and that's a good thing. It means they've got a hook, and you know it's memorable.
Got an earworm, and you got it there, right? So next one is by RJ, and the track is called Flow. Let's do it. Let's do it, RJ.
Oh my god, that RJ flow.
Nice. Nice one, RJ. Track there called Flow. Really loving the little live bass there, weren't we?
Yeah, no, it was cool. That just adds
Funky.
a little bit of ding, 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 just a little bit of a live element. It kind
It's
of
got
feels
a
so.
groovy
Yeah, that's
vibe
cool.
to it. It's got a bit of funk to it. The first vocal, kind of interesting. That pitch down, quite moody, working with that sort of funky vibes. You've also got that little chopped, more soulful vocal, a bit filtered down. I quite like that on the outro there. Nice parts. What this is lacking though is something that really grabs us as like a musical hook, isn't it?
Yeah, massively. It just felt like it just went on in, you know, we've heard this already, you know, in parts. It's like the track hasn't progressed enough into something and something to grab your attention, grab that, build on that excitement. I think what you've done in the breakdown's really cool. So you've definitely got this, you know, you've definitely got really good, you know, creativity in there. We just need to get that creativity a little bit more in those choruses, I think. Vocals are cool. They really work. Everything works. I think you're just missing that one part now. I think your arrangement kind of works. So, you know, the structure's looking good. It's just getting that one special thing and you go, yes, that's that song now.
Yeah, because like you dropped with a vocal and then 16 bars later did a little drop out with the kick and the groove just came back and all we added was this real gentle sort of deep house chord, organ, and it wasn't enough to lift us. And then the same going into the break, it was like bassline still going, we're taking away some hats, we're chilling out, but there wasn't that other thing that grabbed our attention enough.
100%.
And I think that's what it is on this one. And it might be that you want it of a bit more of a chill mood, but then the bass line's quite uplifting, quite funky. And I think the choice of that sort of deep house organ, that Rhodes, it's lacking the energy to match what's going on the record with the vocals.
Yeah, it's just a part to work in the groove, isn't it? Rather than a special standout element.
It needs something. It might be that you even drop on the first drop without the vocal and then bring back the vocal in that chopped form after the transition and play off a little sound. And have a stab that plays off the chopped vocals, a question and answer. That could work. Experiment. That is what we feel this one needs, RJ. Just a little bit more. It will honestly give it like 10% more energy and appeal.
Yeah,
have a little
100%. 100%. And perhaps the drums are just a little bit too straight all the way through.
Yeah.
Can I maybe work on a little bit of play with them, a couple of fills here, maybe another drum sound could be introduced to help the groove. And
don't be afraid to automate them in little transitions, like drop the kicks out and the hats could just go with some reverb and delay, then back. Little double claps, all that sort of stuff helps, doesn't it?
In fact, I think maybe a little perk would help. Just something just like a slightly offbeat, but would just sort of pick up that pace through the track a little bit. It doesn't feel so static because those little type perks that will just fit between all those little gaps of the, you know, the hats and the claps and the kit. They'll just fit in those little things. You might just pick that pace up in the track a little bit. Worth a try. Maybe like a wood block kind of sounds. But yeah,
can't go wrong with a sort of wood block clave, or dare I say, cowbell.
Oh yes. I mean,
you could do
a go-to.
It is a go-to, but that if you get that in there, and that will work, you know.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the old wood block. Just the
those sorts of sets. I think tonally they pop out. You've got all your core drums, wood blocks, claves, sticks. They just sit on top and give you a little bit of a perk hook.
Yeah,
because I think if you're going to have percussion, if you have a hook within the percussion that's very simple, before I hear the other hooks, I can latch onto as a hook. Yeah, that's double hooks. But it's a
double hook.
It's a winner, right? But it isn't. It makes the track more appealing.
100%.
The heat's making me lose it in here. I need to turn the heating up. The fans up.
It's just blowing hot air around now. I swear.
It is.
Just
It's warm. Oh, chat's back on. Yes.
Chat's back.
Welcome back after that minor technical error.
Chat is back.
Bing bong bing. Nice one. Yes, look at that. James, how are you, mate? D-Tone. Loz, oi oi. How are you, dude? Love it. Everyone's back in. J Deep, how are you, mate? Chat is back.
Yeah.
Chat is back. Jack Webster
Chat is back. With Jack back. The chat is back.
Chat is back. Chat is back.
Chat is back with Jack back. Yeah. Still our own jingles.
I reckon we've come up with a few sayings and jingles today.
Totally.
It's the heat. It's definitely the heat.
We are going delirious in here.
We're going delirious. So,
yes.
Welcome to Jingles, Torm Academy Jingles with Danny Rhys and Pete Griffiths. Here we make up jingles on the spot. For $30, you can get a jingle for any one of your products, services, or businesses.
And adverts, by the sounds of it. Pete's doing live ads.
Voiceovers.
Yes.
Terms and conditions applied.
We are live. This isn't. You can't skip this ad.
Yeah. We've totally lost the plot here, guys. It's gone. Chat going in the heat just sent us over the edge. I'm going to find another track. Let's do it. I
think we need another song now before,
we do.
Before we start melting away.
Before we start melting and our brain just goes. Right.
Please read below for more terms and conditions.
They always say it really fast. Like on the radio stations that do ads. And it'd be like some sort of car offer.
The really important bits.
Do you know what I've often wondered and pondered? Do they actually? Is there someone that can speak that fast, or is it just spoken normal?
I reckon there's a man out there,
and then they actually warp it.
Definitely, I reckon there's.
Only one person can speak that fast to do the terms and conditions.
What's those terms and conditions? £1, them people, they're definitely doing it.
Yes, the auctioneer.
That's it, auctioneer.
So good at that.
Auctioneer, yeah.
Isn't he good at that? You're so good at that.
£1, £60, £80.
Sold.
I'll do it on sheep on the weekend. That's what I'll do. I'm out there with the farmers.
You'd be going to the cattle market, haven't you? Oh, I love it. What's the programme? They auction off the storage things.
Like Storage Wars.
Storage Wars. And they auction them off. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Yeah. Anyway, we divulge. I love it.
We've gone well off
Danny,
track.
I'm getting you on a record. We're gonna do some sort of piano house 90s.
I could do like a starter pack.
A starter. I love it.
Yes.
This is it, guys.
Hold tight, Torm Academy.
It's coming. New sample pack is on the way. Oh, I love it. Right. So, I have another record loaded. Or shall we just keep doing jingles and MCing? No, we'll do it.
It's tempting. The mic is here.
It's the mic. I think putting the mic in front of you and me, it's made us just want to MC and record jingles. Right, I got another track. This is by Rezone, and it's called Under the Moonlight. I love the thought of this, the Under the Moonlight. So I don't know why. I think that's making me feel like something cool compared to this room.
Yes.
That's what it is.
I'm thinking of Top Loader.
Top Loader, yeah. Well, you never know. Be amazed if it is, but let's do it. Let's do this one, Rezone.
Darkest night, he prayed to
Wow. Incredible production.
That was really quality, Rezone. That is what an accomplished record. That's ready for the radio, isn't it?
Yeah,
that is ready to go.
Work there.
Production's lovely. All your sound choices, synthesis, the bass line is lovely. Really nice vocal. Almost got a sort of Ray feel to her vocal a little bit.
Yeah, totally. It's got that sort of mystical kind of poppy
mystical
sort of vibe, but yeah, really, really well written. I think
really well written and
production.
I'd say what we were talking about earlier on one of the other tracks about when the vocal goes and a hook comes into a place. That sort of digital flute sound, that's really hooky.
Yeah,
that's proper earworm. It really just sound wise, it bites through and comes through, replaces the vocal perfectly. It's sonically in a really nice bright space, and the melodies really, really simple to latch on to.
It's different as well.
It's got some nice sound.
You don't hear that kind of sound like ever really. So it's kind
of fluty, but then it's quite dreamy.
Yeah,
as well. This is a really great record, and I think our thoughts on it, we were both talking about it while it was playing, they're probably quite subjective, depending, it's almost artistic choice kind of stuff. There really isn't anything wrong with that record. That is produced very, very well. We've got a 3-minute radio edit that works and flows very, very well. And I think just for us, and probably because we are, we're A&Rs and we have a lot of experience in club-based house music. We work on radio projects all the time, but predominantly our passion really sits there. And I think we were thinking about what grabbed us and how things worked that might be from that. I think it was when we got to the second drop, so when we came to the main drop after the second break, going back into your verse of the vocal felt more soft to us, didn't it? And you were sticking to the same safe arrangement
as what
of
you did in the first half
vocals,
of the track.
Then the vocals go, and then we have the flute riff hook. But it felt to us that it might work well the other way round, and I think it's because we find the flute so hooky. Some of the first verse I really love, about the angel and stuff, but I found in the main break there was quite a lot. By the time we then go into the second part of the verse, it becomes more dreamy, doesn't it? And I think you could keep the attention harder there. I really love the Under the Moonlight when that's looping. I'd use that more.
Yeah, and I think that's it's like what you were saying there. We're swapping the the flute and the vocal arrangement around from going into the vocal and then into that loop would just flow much nicer as well, rather than going vocal, flute, vocal. It would just tail off. It'd all make sense, and
because effectively we're going vocal all through the break, and then dropping with vocal, aren't we?
Yeah,
that flute's not coming in the break, but yeah, I felt like for us, you could have just gone more energy at the last part of that break and build up and dropped with club energy as well. I think that's what we were both feeling.
Yeah, for sure. I think just having that flute on that drop would just make you want to dance more, rather than go back to a verse and it's just bumping away, and then you're building up to that flute again. But I think in dance music, majority of the tracks, that is the pinnacle moment after that middle break. Bang, that is the energy. I'd go energy with that flute. I just feel like you'd get people dancing.
Even for me, even though it's a radio record, I still think that would work.
I think so, 100%.
The melody of it's so quick and instant and hooky to latch onto.
Totally. I think DJs would still play this for the likes of like TCTS, DJ SKT, people playing at
especially an extended club version that you might have a little less of the vocal. Because that Under the Moonlight looping's really nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Under the Moonlight, that's really hooky as well.
And you've got potential there to make a really sick dub out of this as well. So, but yeah, it's a really, really tough one. I think, the only feedback I would say is just move that flute forward, swap them both round, have the vocal, and I think you're pretty much good to go there. But Rezone.
Sort of personal choice stuff, really.
But yes, it is subjective. This is, that's my personal thoughts. But
it's wicked, man. Really good. D-Tome saying it reminds me of the song from the movie Hackers. I don't know. Why do I not know that film?
No. I did see a trailer yesterday from a very... I thought it was a new film, but it's not. It's called Tusk. I don't know if anyone's seen Tusk. Don't.
There you go. You've been warned.
The trailer was nuts. It's about a man who turns a human being into a walrus. This sounds nuts.
Okay.
But it's pretty, and it turned out it's like 9 years ago. I don't know how it's gone so under the radar. But anyway, I saw that last night and it traumatised me. Just the trailer.
You actually watched the film?
I haven't watched the film.
Just the trailer?
But yeah, I mean,
it's the way forward, mate. Just watch trailers and then that's it. You're done.
Yeah.
You've got enough of the film.
I mean, if anyone can put themselves through that film, probably should go to prison because they're not right up there, you know. But anyway,
you heard it here first.
That's totally off topic.
How did we get it from that record to Tusk?
I think 'cause you said trailer, maybe,
yes,
and I went,
trailer.
I saw a nutty trailer last night.
Yes, love that. Brilliant. Right, let's do the next one, shall we? Let's keep it rocking. Let's keep it rocking. Let's keep it rolling. Oh, okay. I've got something here from previous student of ours. And he's smashing it out there, to be fair. Liam Cox.
Ah, yes, Liam.
Nice one, Liam.
Yeah.
One of our current Torm Academy students is actually referencing one of your recent releases as well. This one's called Praman. Interesting. All right. Let's do this, Liam. Let's go.
Very well done.
Yeah, yes, Liam. That is wicked. That is wicked. Sorry,
Yeah,
I got
well done, Liam, man.
totally thrown there. Mate, that's heavy, dude. That is heavy, and the production is top notch. Like we said, Liam, you know, look, it's amazing and awesome to see you making your way here now with your music and as an artist in the industry. I love it. I absolutely love to see your progress. You've had some great records signed across some really cool labels as well, and that just goes to show again the production on that, the finish on that, even the mix and the presence.
Yeah, for sure.
Sounds amazing. That is really top quality, really solid. Massive energy, huge energy. I loved it, the way you held that vocal in that first break going into the build. And when it drops, the drum fills a really nice big part of it. Those percussive fills, aren't they?
Massively. Yeah, they bring a huge part to that track. And there's even some nice things that I thought was quite different, actually, was some of the little electronic sort of Frankie Wah in a way, kind of little sort of little parts that come in.
Yeah, little held sounds,
cool.
little
That's
textures.
That's not a done thing generally with this sound. So that was really cool.
Sort of sound,
But yeah, Liam sends me stuff all the time, and I always get excited to open and listen to his demos because I know what I'm in for. I know it's going to be a solid track. I mean, he's just always like 90.999% there. It's just always that one.
We were talking about this while we were
tough.
playing the track, actually, Liam, and it's like you're almost, with regards to getting past this man here and getting stuff signed to the label, it's tough because, you know, you're what's the word? The bar is set high with what you do as well, you know. So I think the guys are looking for that track that is real. Like, really
man. Honestly,
blows them away.
You're so close, Liam. You're always super close.
And the tracks are super strong. I mean, that I can imagine hearing that to a really big crowd. Like
Totally.
Mark playing at like a massive festival in the States, and just the size of it and the moment from those vocals and that break with the pads and stuff would be epic.
Totally.
It would be epic. I wondered, I don't know why, I only felt it really once we got past the second drop, and I was like, do I want to hear another more musical, simple stab? I know it's textbook answer sometimes and a sort of textbook go-to, because it is all about the groove, the vocal, the drum fills,
it
and all
needs
that
something.
kind of stuff. But I was wondering, is there something else other than textural, atmospheric stuff that could bite through, just in a couple of places? Yeah,
I'm thinking more along the likes of or a stab or just a, you know, if you look at like a Cell Sweat or, you know, Cassie and Party People, just a blimp 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 kind of.
Yeah.
You know, it's really easy done, but just brings one little thing into the track just to go, okay, so it's not just an instrumental, or okay, it's not just drums, because with this track it is just drums and then it's a big vocal, drums, big vocal, and you just need that one little thing, I think, there just to. It
could be that it only appears in like 2 8-bar sections, mid groove, and then after the second drop somewhere.
Yeah,
to help lift it.
So he's a subtle hook, nothing crazy, not like donk donks and all James Hype type of hook.
Yeah,
doesn't need that. It was a real subtle hook in there, because also the breakdown, I felt like it just needed again something in there just to help the progression, because I just felt it was just vocal again.
One more sound, but a sound that can bring energy and urgency towards that build up.
So like a dong or a stab or just a very subtle things that go a long way just to break that track up, because it is just drums and vocal. Maybe the vocal's too much in places. But again, that's subjective.
Maybe try it out then. Maybe just try that out. Have a little play and see if you can bring one other little sound into it that might bring a tiny edge, and then send it back in.
Yeah,
send
Liam,
it back in. Send it over.
You've got my email. Maybe we can work on this. But I mean, this definitely has potential. Maybe we can maybe try and
work on this,
whip it in a shape perhaps. But
nice.
But yeah,
nice. Have a go with that, then, Liam, and send it back in, mate. Really good. Really super solid. What an amazing track. I think to end on as well, guys. That's all we got time for on today's session, I'm afraid. I always feel bad saying that. We could sit here for hours, honestly. We could, and just listen to your tracks and chat to you all, because we absolutely love these sessions. Amazing stuff. What a lovely variety of like artistic styles there as well across the tracks we've listened to. And look, if you're tuned in and you're like, oh, mine didn't get played again, keep trying, keep listening, okay? Keep tuning in each week and keep sending in tracks, and we will get to you, all right? We will get to you. We'll listen to your tracks. And I hope you enjoy these sessions as well, guys. Next week, I have a big legend joining us in the hot seat as well.
I'm back.
You were quick on that. You were very quick on that.
You've got me going now, Pete.
It's brilliant. Brilliant.
But sorry for interrupting.
No, I like it. I like it. Yeah, Danny is back. No, next week we've got the legend who is Dee Ramirez joining us in the hot seat. So that's going to be wicked. I mean, an amazing artist and tutor here at the Torum Academy as well. I think quite a few of you may have seen some of his performances that he does at conferences and the courses that he offers. He is a legend. He really knows his stuff.
Yeah, he's one incredible producer, isn't he?
He really is. He's a talented man. So he's going to be sitting here next week listening to your demos. So get those tunes in, Up Label Radar. Make sure you're back here next Wednesday, 3 p.m. to join us live. If you can't make the live, it will be on the channel afterwards, all right? Go check out the Torum Academy channel. There's some amazing stuff on there as well. Loads of cool tutorials for music production. You can find everything from kick drum to arrangement, tips and tricks, all sorts on there, all right? But next Wednesday, 3 p.m, back with Dee Ramirez. Thank you so much for joining us, mate.
My pleasure, Pete. Always
Taking
good to be here with you lot.
Busy day. It's a lot of fun.
Yes, but
we've established there's some great music out there, and Danny can do amazing auctioneer emceeing lyrics, and we can offer jingles and voiceovers for you as well. So
until next time, folks, this is the Torum Academy signing off.
See you later, guys. We'll see you next week, all right? Take care, everyone. See you later.